last week I took part in the Xanderjam 3 Spring Jam. The time limit was a week, I think, and the theme was evolution. You know, when I heard the theme, I thought, surely everyone's going to do the same thing that I'm thinking, which is a creature that eats things and evolves and gets new powers. But instead of dilly-dallying, I just set about straight away planning the first game I thought of, because it's a game jam, for goodness sakes, we can't be wasting time. There's no time. So the idea of this game is you play as a hungry alien who's eating things on Earth, and you gain abilities and evolve so that it's easier to actually eat things. First I came up with a bunch of evolution powers like acid splash and teleportation and things, which would have been actually pretty cool, but I didn't implement those particularly. I came up with an evolution tree where you choose, depending on which branch you choose, you get different evolutions, and I made it overly complicated, so I tried to rein it back in again, settled for just having 2 choices, and so you just cycle through all the choices. And that worked pretty well. It did what it needed to do. Generally I see game jams as a way to push myself and to learn new things. So I decided I would try a 3D workspace rather than 2D, which I'm used to, just to see what it's like and try and wrap my head around the whole new dimension. Obviously I wasn't going to start learning 3D modelling or something and create all the assets in a week. There's no time. So I settled for just pre-made assets, bought off the asset store. Those work perfectly well for what I need, and they suit the style of the game, the sort of silly nature of a little alien just running around eating things. I drew a 2D character to play as and set up the camera follow, which was a challenge in a 3D world for me. I just do struggle to get my head around that third dimension, just something about it. And so after this I set about populating a 3D landscape with interesting objects. So along with trying to understand how these static 3D objects work in this 3D space, I also realised I had to make characters interact with these 3D objects, walk around them, avoid them, walk on top of the ground and things. And so I checked out navmesh in Unity. So what that is, as far as I can understand it, which means I'll probably explain it terribly. Basically, from what I can see, it's an area of the mesh, the ground, which the characters can walk on, and the objects are the areas where it can't walk around, and it sort of tells them where they can't and can walk. I don't think I explained that very well. So I had no trouble making that work, well, apart from like an hour spent trying to make a little rat move, and I just couldn't figure it out, and I was searching all over the internet, and in the end I changed the rat agent that I made and just gave the rat a human agent, a pre-made one on navmesh, and it worked fine. With the groundwork sorted, I implemented all the different abilities for evolving, which included making a mini-map, which was interesting and fun to get done. Basically the way I did it is just... No, you don't need to know. You can find tutorials. At some point down the road I realised I'm terrible at level design. It was tough, so I thought maybe I can try and start again and make a small little area, try a bit of 3D. I downloaded Claxels, I think it's called. A Claxels asset. Allows you to build 3D models like clay, putting bits on and taking bits off. But quickly scrapped that and just settled on trying to make an interesting level 2 instead. So to wrap up the project, I drew a little intro comic to let people know the deep, emotionally rich story. Poor little alien just wanting to eat some delicious food. I added sound effects for eating and bumping into things. If you're going at a certain speed, it'll make a little squishy sound as it hits things. And decided quite close to the submission time that I was going to make a piece of music to go with it. I decided on a bouncy accordion style song to drive home the silly nature of the game. Messed around with playing with random notes until I got something I liked. It's quite out of timing and not amazing, but I had fun with it and it's been stuck in my head all week, so that's a good sign at least. So check out my game on my itch.io page, and thanks to Xanderwood for hosting the jam. Bye bye.